Okay, hi everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Emily Lawrence, and I work at Feheley Fine Arts with Pat. And I will be in conversation with Darcie tonight. So thank you, Darcie, for joining us over Zoom. We wish you could be here in person, but we are grateful that the internet exists so that we can do things like this. So I will just give a formal introduction of Darcie. So Darcie Bernhardt is an Inuvialuit Gwich'in artist who was raised in Tuktoyaktuk, Northwest Territories. And their work primarily focuses on the narrative of domestic life in the North. And they are based on both memories and photographs from home. Bernhardt's works, such as the ones that are behind me, so we'll do this, and we'll see them in more detail later. They feature expanses of negative space, which convey the fleetingness and ever-changing quality of memory. Bernhardt's reimagining of memories function as an act of reclamation and decolonial preservation. Bernhardt is currently based in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and is a graduate of the Nova Scotia School of Art and Design University. Bernhardt was awarded the Indigenous Artist Recognition Award from Arts Nova Scotia in 2020, and is currently featured in RBC's Emerging Artist Project. Bernhardt's work and writing have also been included several times in the Inuit Art Quarterly. Bernhardt's paintings, in addition to being on view right now at Feheley Fine Arts, have also been exhibited across Canada, from the newly established Helma-Yuk Center at the Winnipeg Art Gallery to the Art Gallery of Nova Scotia. So thank you so much again, Darcie, for joining us from your studio in Halifax. And that was quite a formal introduction, but I was hoping that you could also introduce yourself to our audience because there's no one better to do that than you, of course. So I was hoping you could speak a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and how you got into art, and sort of how your hometown influences your artistic practice. So take it away.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for having me. Uvanga Ataga Darcie, and I'm originally from Tuktoyaktuk, Northwest Territories, and currently based in Jibuktuk. So I feel very fortunate to be from Tuktoyaktuk, where I was constantly surrounded by the water, the people, and the elders. And I think when I think about it more, when I first got into art, I think my mom was a big influence on me. And it was at the time where she was learning how to sew when we first moved to Tuk. So that allowed me to be surrounded by so many elders, their stories. I remember seeing like fabrics all across scattered the floor. And I think being surrounded by that type of color, and then those type of conversations of why we choose certain colors to go together, that really informed and influenced like what I want, what I still continue to do now. And I think the people in community, like people in Tuk, I think even my mom doesn't really consider herself an artist, but I think with those types of conversations that she's having, she's like they're preserving cultural ways of knowing, and a person who holds intergeneral ways of knowing and skills and cultural craft and art practice and their art practice.
So it was something that you were exposed to from a young age through your mother and other matriarchal influences in your life who were seamstresses, which is really cool. And that does come across in a lot of your works, which we will talk about shortly, especially in terms of patterns and fabrics, especially in the interior scenes that you painted. So on shirts, on couches, on blankets, etc., which was really beautiful. And so the exhibition title is Akisuktuaq, which is an Inuvialuktun word, which when translated to English means to strike a shiny object with its rays. And that is a word that really ties all of the works in the show together. And I was hoping you could explain why you chose that to be the title of this show and how it links everything.
So my practice is, I feel like, mostly about memory and as a way of documenting, and in a sense, it is pretty much like decolonial preservation. And I thought about the word, this Inuvialuktun word so much, and I think I'm showing these people because these people in my community are like beacons and who shine light on like historical and cultural practices that have been suppressed intentionally through systemic racism. But I think what also ties it in together was that the rabbit skin glue, which I feel like kind of adds to the whole title as well, because it essentially adds like this little glimmer, and it's acts as a, historically it was acts as a adhesive, and basically I think it's refined collagen, which is cool, and it was one of the early ingredients of traditional gesso.
Right, so you have gessoed all of the paintings with rabbit skin glue, which it's hard to see now, and it will be hard to see in the photographs that we show. But hopefully next week, those who are in Toronto can come and see the works in person, because of the rabbit skin glue, they actually have a sparkly simplicity. And a lot of Darcie's works have negative space left on the canvas. So there are actually these glimmers of shiny spaces that come through, which are really quite beautiful.